Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with the Timeless reading. Welcome. The first card out is Page of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. You're getting two in your head here. If we could take out Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords, it would be you doing something that whatever this is that you're up to, doing that can be something that you feel you don't have. You're sort of developing a base for something right now. This Page of Pentacles is feeling like you may feel like you need help with something, but I'm actually seeing you as being very capable of doing this yourself. But Eight of Swords is all of the ways that your thoughts get in the way of you actually doing that, and it's also blocking you from your instinct currently. I'm also seeing that too, which is a strange thing to see. It's one of those times where it's like kind of all in your head, because I'm seeing you have a very intuitive grasp of how to make moves with whatever it is that you're involved in, whatever you're focusing on. Having it be Page of Pentacles, this can be anything that's an earthly matter that you're up to right now. There can be a part of you that's like, maybe you feel like you need guidance, or you need somebody else to be telling you what to do here with this, or you're looking for some type of help, but I feel like it's more so, you're more so feeling like that because of not trusting yourself. It's one of those times where, like, metaphorically speaking, the teacher leaves you alone to figure something out because you're actually capable of it, and you're not meant to be like creating a dependency on the teacher. So it's like, instead of empowering the teacher to do something that you can actually do, it's a time when you're going to be empowering yourself because you need to do something yourself for whatever reason. I don't know why this is. I'm just reading the energy. But because of getting two in your head, it like blocks you from your instinct of what to be doing, so you can feel like you're at a distance kind of from that feeling that comes up within you that's like, we turn left here, you know, like that type of thing. And then you could even be getting glimpses of what your intuition is telling you, but then get in your head about it like, now I'm questioning that. Is that even right, what I'm picking up on? It can be like those things that you're experiencing here. But if this were just Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups, I would see you as like working on something or tending to something and having like a good instinctive idea of how to be moving through this practice. It does feel like this is highlighting maybe some type of like mental attachment that you form to something that you don't actually need, because I'm seeing you be capable of doing this yourself. This is how you learn. Feels like it comes down to this thing about your capabilities, like your self-trust that you know what you're doing, or that you'll figure it out. I'm seeing you receiving insights about the moves to make, but being in conflict. Why in conflict? Because of overthinking it. Not because there's actually anything wrong with the messages that you're receiving, or the feelings that you're getting, or what your instincts are telling you. And I'm seeing you be stressed out. You can feel like having Page of Pentacles and having Ten of Wands can and feel like you've been given some type of assignment that feels a bit too much for you. There can be a part of you that's like, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I supposed to do all of this stuff? But I'm getting you be capable of doing it. You need to be organized and you need to break things down and not be taking on anything necessarily and practice balance here. That's what this suggestion is. It's one of those times when you have to pick which way are you going to go, right or left, and nobody's going to tell you the answer. And you are feeling already. It's not like you're looking and being like, I have no idea which one to pick. You already have an idea of the direction in your head, and it ends up being the right one, but you're questioning yourself as if it's not, just for some reason, because of getting too in your head about this. But you need to just trust yourself. And trust that you're going to figure things out too. If anything is unclear, you don't know, it's because you don't need to know at that point in time, and you can believe that. I'm seeing you be very, very capable here. I'm not seeing you be given anything that you're not able to do. But you really have to trust yourself, and it feels like this is about developing, about building that self-trust. From a place of intuition and instinct and feeling. Definitely has to do with a more nuanced aspect of this, of what this is that you're involved in. Sometimes too, when there isn't like a direct way, like let's say there are 6 paths that open up in front of you, you can feel stressed out by having different opportunities and then having to pick, where it's like too many options, overwhelming. But I feel again like this is an indication that you need to trust yourself and that you know what you're doing, and to just trust your instinct, and also to not fight it, because it feels like instinct is saying one thing and then your brain may be saying another thing, and then they're clashing with one another, and then you're just feeling stressed out, where it's like, this is actually very, very simple. You just move through. And if you come to a point where you're like, I'm actually not picking up on anything right now, and I don't know what to pick or what to choose, or which option is the right one, it may not be the time to do so. But if you are getting an instinct, don't shut it down because of not trusting yourself. This is how you develop that. Even if you make a mistake, you know, it'll be a learning experience nonetheless. Seems like you perceiving yourself as able to do this is going to be the first part of this. I'm getting a couple different instances of what this could be. Like, I'm seeing this vary for each of you, what this is that you're up to right now. You can feel like you're not super experienced with this, but you may have a level of knowledge, or like some type of basis of knowledge for what this is. You can feel like there's a lot of different stuff that you're maybe being inundated with by. Feels like this is a time of exploration, discovery, keeping your mind open, keeping your eyes open, keeping your ears open. I do see again this part of you being like, I don't feel connected with that part of myself that's like, I got this. But I'm seeing that there's a part of you that, even if you don't have experience in this particular area, it feels like your past experience in general can actually be applied to this. Just from like a format perspective, how it can be applied. If you have options laid out in front of you and you don't know which direction to move in, it feels like gathering information until you do, or keeping your eyes open until you do, or keeping your ears open until you do, because it will be clarified. You just have to like trust the process and how this is unfolding. Once you get what you need to, you're going to be able to know what the next steps are. But don't be discouraged just because you get to a point and you're like, I don't immediately know the answer, or I don't immediately know how to do this, you know, or I haven't immediately figured this out. Like, give it some time, sit with it, explore a bit. It feels like you're being encouraged to really dig into this and engage and be present. Even if a process not being direct is kind of throwing you off a little bit, feels like seeing sort of how you fare in a situation like that and working through it. This can be a situation too where there's not necessarily a right way to do something, and you're just meant to be like building your trust in your own instinct of your way of doing something. And that can be another reason why you're not being given direct directions with some aspects of this, like this situation here. It's like, what do you feel is right for you? Like, how to move through this? What are you connecting with? What's intuitively from a pure space where you're not being impacted by anybody else's way of doing things or their opinions or their direction. It's like, how do you direct yourself through this and build that trust with yourself? That's not to say it's not confusing at times, or it's not overwhelming at times, or it's not whatever else you're perceiving this to be. It is to say that with all of that going on, you're still capable of working through this. It's not anything that you can't take on. It's not anything that you're not capable of. Just hold it steady as much as you can. I am seeing that things are definitely going to be working themselves out here. So you go from instincts that you're experiencing, conflict that's being worked out, and then I'm seeing you jump into a place where everything is working the way that it's supposed to. So rather than like all of the pieces like clashing into one another, it's like everything starts functioning like a well-oiled machine. Like there's harmony. I get that you're also learning about yourself from an emotional standpoint as well. You can be seeing certain things that trigger you or frustrate you or annoy you, or when you start feeling overwhelmed, like how you react to that, those types of things. And it's also teaching you how to get centered when you're in some type of ambiguous situation, and how to bring yourself back into a place of harmony with yourself. Because I'm seeing like where the conflict comes from is your intuition or your instinct speaking to you, but then you blocking it mentally because you're like, I don't trust myself, or I don't know what I'm doing, like those types of things. And then it cuts you off from that because you're like, I don't know if I can trust this. But then it's going to be like the reconnection of that, the bringing you back with that. And then everything is working as it's meant to be working. But you have to get to a space where keeping yourself open to taking in what's around you and what's going to be helpful for you throughout this process, grounding your energy and centering yourself, getting everything back functioning and working the way that it's supposed to, and then stabilizing so you can move forward. the places to which you go mentally can feel very stressful at times. Tending to and doing like mental health maintenance important to your stability in general, like feeling solid. Stuff being worked out, coming back into connection with that part of you that is going to instinctively tell you where to go and what to be doing, trusting that. Trusting in your abilities and that you really do got this. And also, too, that the experience that you have can be applied to this, even if it's a different type of situation. But yeah, when you hit a bit of a roadblock or you feel like the path veers in many different directions and you're kind of at a standstill, like, is it this one or this one or that one? It's time to listen, because it will become clear to you which way to go, but it doesn't mean rush ahead then at that point. This is also about getting comfortable with the ambiguity and spending time figuring things out, especially when it is uncomfortable. But as soon as you look below the surface, I'm seeing options become clear to you of what's actually like viable or the right way to go, or where you're being guided to move. But it's going to take like looking underneath, like just below the surface, and then it's going to be there for you. This feels like Seven of Cups, is a kind of a more superficial energy where it's like, yes, I'm recognizing all of these things are going on, but you haven't totally delved into all of those things yet that are popping up. Like all of the options that are popping up, or the avenues, or the feelings, the structure of things. So you can see what's going on, but then going to a place of seeing what's presenting itself to you in a more complete way, that will then guide you through this. But you have to be open to navigating through unfamiliar situations. That's also part of this too. Like having it be Page of Pentacles, and we have Page of Swords, and we have Page of Cups. This is you navigating areas of your life and also relationships with yourself that may not be super developed in this context. And this is the way that you develop it, through this sort of obstacle course that you're going through, essentially. Just stick with it. And when you're feeling really stuck, sit down and go into a place of reflection, quiet the mind. The way will speak to you. It'll light up. But don't rush to get this over with. It's not about that. It's about moving through this properly. So next time you're in a situation like this, you're like, I remember how I did it last time. And so even though you will find yourself in another unknown situation, you'll kind of have the formula for moving through this type of thing. All right? Okay, everybody, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.